Although these cello talks were randomly created and organized, I hope they actually add up to something coherent. A school of cello playing, my own school, for better or worse. I've decided to stop after the next one not only because it's a nice number, 100, but because the talks I mapped out past 100 generally cover subjects I've already detailed, albeit from different perspectives. Some talks I won't be making, for example, combined two aspects of technique, for example, vibrato and bow speed. But I need to let you put these many bits of information together yourselves. Otherwise, this could just go on and on. In order to make a case for the talks forming a school of playing, I would like to outline the scope of this project, describe its content, suggest some possible ways to use it, and reveal some further thought behind the whole thing. First, beginning with the equipment itself, I've described what I believe are important qualities to look for when purchasing cellos and bows. Once good equipment is in hand, I've described how to set it up and maintain it. I have tried to explain as clearly as possible the mechanics of cellos and bows and how they interact. In relation to bow technique, I've approached it from the point of view of what the stick itself needs to do, rather than how to hold it and position the arm. I've described and demonstrated the effects of bow speed and placement on volume and timbre. Further to bow technique, I've explained the traditional terms for bow strokes, demonstrated them, and offered ways of practicing them. To the left hand, I have advocated an orderly approach to the fingerboard based on accuracy and fluency in all positions with practice techniques. I have also laid out a systematic approach to the fingering and practicing of scales. Vibrato has received a heavy treatment with numerous talks on everything from analyses of great singers to exercises for developing high-quality vibrato as well as its uses. Principles of sound projection, a must for cellists, are explained in terms of physics and demonstrated and validated in a variety of spaces, including concert halls. A wide variety of techniques for practicing are presented in the series, ranging from the standard to the unorthodox. Preparation for the concert stage has been a continuing theme throughout the series. I've also touched on physical conditioning and avoiding injury. And once in a while, I haven't been able to resist a bit of philosophical talk on being a musician. My late Uncle George Finkel was the patriarch cellist of the family when I was growing up, and there had been many before him. He was a positive, creative, and extroverted teacher who was always exploring unorthodox ways of learning. When his two cello-playing sons, my cousins Mike and Chris, would be practicing in their house in Bennington along with me, George would dream out loud about opening a cello clinic, in which he would be the chief doctor who would diagnose cellists' ailments and refer them to specialists in this or that area. "Go see Dr. David Finkel at the top of the stairs for the weakness of the left hand," he would say. And then we were to disperse the prescriptions. 15 minutes a day, Pies, book pages 20 to 25, 6 days a week. Besides simply going through these talks systematically, if that's possible, and browsing according to your curiosity, you might consider looking at them according to your needs, the way one shops for vitamins. As I have said in one of them, you should work on your weak points, and that might be a great place to begin. Another way to use these is if you are a teacher. If you have students with various challenges and you think a specific cello talk could help, simply give them the URL like a prescription. Be my guest. I just learned today that various of these talks have been posted on the London Cello Society's Facebook page, and I'm delighted. As something of a disclaimer, I'd like to say for the record that I have neither spent nor made any money on this project. Well, I spent $179 for the little red camera, but I use that for many other things as well. I have not done this to begin or procure a teaching career. I have done nothing to advertise this project's existence, aside from telling cellists in person that perhaps they'd have some fun looking at it. No kidding. This may seem kind of stupid, but I figure that if the whole thing turns out to be worth anything, word of it will spread in a healthy way, and it will be what it will be. At the beginning of this project, I spoke of how I don't have much time to teach privately, and that I consequently wanted to leave something of what I've learned behind about cello playing someplace where people could get at it if I were to be suddenly run over by a bus. That I've now done. But I thought that I should also share another reason that I've made these talks. And here I've made a case for them being a school of cello playing. And that reason is because for many years, many years now, over many cello master classes and chamber music coachings, I have truly felt that solid, practical, and realistic schools of cello playing are either widely unknown of or simply don't exist. My perception, overwhelmingly so, has been that violinists are generally much better equipped when it comes to basics like posture, knowing scales, understanding the fingerboard, sound production, vibrato, shifting, etc. Certainly there are for cello numerous etude books going way back a long time that are challenging beyond belief, but what it's added up to, I have yet to really discover. So I hope that what I've left here helps cellists to feel that they have some principles that work to hold on to. I hope that the information I've given is comprehensive enough that it could, if well applied, empower cellists to solve problems on their own, to understand the mechanics of the instrument well, and to be better prepared to play music well, whether for themselves, their teachers and coaches, or the public. Time will tell, and I've heard recently that when you leave things on the internet, it's forever.